one sane and logical thing to be done with a rarely inferior race, and that is to exterminate it. H.G. Wells, English author.
All these racial ideas and anti-Jewish ideas were circulating everywhere in Europe, and this led or helped to so-called justify the grabbing of other people's resources around the world, including...
All of them. About half of the evacuated people were farm folk, skilled producers of vegetables, fruits, and other crops. They had made desert lands productive before, and around the relocation centers they could and did do it again by the application of hard work and water for irrigation.
What is today the United States of America, and has anything altered? Only the colors.
I do not admit, for instance, that a great wrong has been done to the Red Indians of America. A stronger race, a higher grade race, has come in and taken their place. Winston.
At the two centers in Arkansas, they have introduced Western-type irrigation and succeeded in producing vegetables in the heat of midsummer, when ordinary production methods are not successful. Tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, corn, melons, and many other crops have been grown on land that a year or 2 years...
Churchill. The second quote refers to the genocide of Native Americans that continued for around 300 years. About 90% of the continent's indigenous peoples were wiped out. Counter-terrorist expert and former US Army analyst.
ago was unproductive. Food production is aimed at self-support for the relocation center. It does not go into the open market. From the fields, it goes to the center warehouse. From there, it may go to the kitchen, or it may be shipped to other centers. The Arizona centers are most productive in winter.
Scott Bennett investigates crimes against humanity.
The American Indians were seen as a scourge, as a social pariah that needed to be expunged, expelled, and exterminated from much of the eastern seaboard.
The others produce only in summer or fall, so vegetable crops are exchanged. Besides the workers engaged in farming, it takes many others to handle food, in the warehouses, in transportation, in the kitchens. To keep the rolling equipment,
the elimination of so-called inferior races and extermination camps were typical of the West. Hitler had hardly come up with anything new. Bloemfontein, 1901, British concentration camp. Mauthausen, 1945, a Nazi extermination camp.
Trucks, cars, and tractors in operation. It takes mechanics and machinists. Water mains have to be laid and repaired. Roads, sanitation systems, and buildings have to be maintained. At the Arkansas centers, the land is covered with trees, and the clearing process provides lumber for construction and firewood for heating.
The Western world did fairly well, living off exploiting its colonies.
The British Empire was extremely profitable.
Those who work are paid. Wages by outside standards are low. $12 a month for beginners, $16 a month for most of the workers, and $19 for professional people such as doctors and others on skilled or difficult work. The workers also receive a small cash.
Notable for the British. The French tried to copy.
In his books and articles, Paul Craig Roberts, professor of economics and well-known journalist and former U.S. Assistant Secretary of the Treasury for Economic Policy, analyzes the economic factors destabilizing the world.
Allowance for clothing. The money received as wages lets an evacuee buy the things he needs, which are not provided by the government. But most have had to draw on their savings to live as they would like to. In each center, a cooperative business association operates
I don't think that we can attribute European colonialism to anything other than money-making. The sun never set on the British Empire. The colonies were everywhere, and this empire is far, far older than the
which handle clothing, toilet articles, and the merchandise which would be needed in any community. The co-ops also run barber shops, beauty parlors, shoe repair shops, and other services for the community. When the school bell rings, it's a signal for these students at Hart Mountain in Wyoming to change classes.
and the Nazis.
I like the British people. Their colonial policy was unthinkable. Adolf Hitler. Fascism is always attributed to the Third Reich. Without
school curriculum meets the standard of the state where the center is located. Mathematics, American history, geography, the fundamentals of an American education. This is a class in mathematics. And a rhythm class of 5th grade pupils. In the modern school, many subjects are added to reading, writing, and arithmetic as part of the schoolwork.
mentioning how other countries contributed to the idea.
System des Faschismus, Staatsräson. Der Begriff Faschismus geht auf den italienischen Begriff facie zurück, was so viel wie Bündel bedeutet. Also die Bündelung von Macht, wirtschaftlicher und politischer. Halb Europa war faschistisch.
Some of the teachers are Caucasian. Some are evacuees, Americans of Japanese ancestry. The first graders in this class, taught by an evacuee teacher, are making colored drawings which will decorate the walls of their barrack building classrooms.
Franco in Spanien, ein rein faschistisches Regime. Portugal war faschistisch. Rumänien war faschistisch. Ungarn war faschistisch. Frankreich hatte eine faschistische Kollaborateursregierung, die Vichy-Regierung. Deutscher Faschismus während seiner Entstehung
The same kind of beautifully clumsy drawings that can be found in almost any first grade room. In the high school, vocational training gets plenty of attention. Scientific farming, studied in school and in the field. And older boys are learning trades.
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it. Write for Pollution Booklet, Box 1771, Radio City Station, New York.
Very